What's up, wrestling world? How y'all doing? This is Jet. We have Crown Jewel now behind us after I would say, mixed card. These Saudi shows are normally non-canon in the sense of they're fantasy matches. That's all they are at the end of the day. A bunch of fantasy booking as much as they could. It was once told that they wanted Yokozuna to be at Crown Jewel. We all know Yokozuna is no longer with us. R.I.P. Anyway, right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-record here a review that I have of everything that I watched over the pay-per-view. It was a decent card. Looked good on paper. Some of the matches didn't translate. Some of the matches that I thought weren't going to be good were actually decent. So, Crown Jewel, Saudi Arabia. It kicked off around, I would say, 11 or 12 o'clock Central Time. So, there goes that. So, we start out with Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. Brock Lesnar wanted to get up out of there. We all know that. He wanted to get his check and bounce back to Saskatchewan. This match was decent. This was almost a squash match. Bobby Lashley went and really took control of this whole match. Started out outside the ring, hit him in the steel steps, started working on his knee. Knee was a real target in the story in this match. I would say midway through, Brock Lesnar got a little bit of offense, but after that, it just was domination by Bobby Lashley. We get to a point to where Bobby Lashley puts Brock Lesnar into the Hurt Lock. And it's about good 2 minutes. And it's funny, Brock Lesnar told the referee, "Shut up, I'm not going to quit." I like the thought of the ending of this match. Now, this match was good for the most part. Slow pace, not your typical Brock Lesnar. Normally, it's suplex, suplex, suplex. Somebody spams their finishers, and the next thing you know, Brock Lesnar hits F5, and then it's for the 1, 2, 3. But no, this was a little different. So Bobby Lashley has him in the Hurt Lock. Okay? From there, Brock Lesnar goes, after fighting for 2 minutes, goes up near the ropes and kicks his foot up a la Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin, 1996. Go back and look that up. You can probably look this up on YouTube as well. He puts his foot up, so he's facing the crowd with his foot, both of his feet up on the top turnbuckle, and he launches back with Bobby Lashley still in the Hurt Lock. The Hurt Lock is like a full Nelson lock, for those who may not know. And 1, 2, 3, but Bobby Lashley still has the lock in, which is pretty goofy. I understand Brock Lesnar has been a known collegiate wrestler and knows many, many pins and has done this most of his life. It looked a little awkward. And also Bobby just sitting there flopping like a fish. I mean, it looked, and then Brock was a little off balance. It could have looked a little bit better. It didn't look as smooth as a Bret Hart one. Anyway, Brock Lesnar wins. And then after the match is something that's really, I would say, interesting. Brock Lesnar gets up and he's already really tired. And Bobby is pissed. And next thing you know, Bobby goes over there and he's like, "What? I lost? Really? 1, 2, 3? Are you serious?" And next thing you know, he puts him back into the full Nelson, a.k.a. Hurt Lock. And Brock Lesnar passes out and lays in the corner of the ring on his stomach against the ropes. So it looks like Bobby Lashley turned heel, which is really interesting. On to the next match, Alexa Bliss and Asuka versus Damage CTRL, Io Sky and Dakota Kai, my girls. I like Asuka too. This was a pretty good match. It had all your typical spots. They worked on Asuka for a majority of the match on her knee again, I believe, which 2 knees. Come on, producers, y'all got to get this together. Work on something different or do something else. But Asuka's knee was part of the story. Pretty good match, well paced, and really there's not much to it, I would say, until Alexa Bliss was up on the top. Nikki Cross comes out when the ref was distracted. There was a bunch of mayhem going on and hits a finisher, it looks like, on Alexa Bliss. And then I believe it was Dakota Kai that got the pinfall for the 1, 2, 3. Now, it could have been, I forgot who it was, so flame me in the comments if you want. But Damage CTRL wins the Women's Championship after just losing it on Monday night to Alexa Bliss and Asuka. So they were champions, lost it, and regained it again. This was nothing but the Prince asking for a title switch, and Triple H went, okay, we'll give you the women titles. Slow down on what we're going to do later. Okay, now, Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross. Well, I would say Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross, they're getting a bad rap on this. People are saying Karrion Kross is boring. Karrion Kross only has one pace. I would say he has one pace, but I would not say Kross is boring. He can cut a damn good promo. He's good in the ring in my sense. He has a good move set. Besides his finisher, he needs to alter that a little bit because this match was pretty good. It wasn't boring. It was well paced. It got to where Drew McIntyre was about to hit a Claymore, I believe, and Scarlett, which is Karrion Kross's real life wife and valet, smoking hot, by the way. And she did some type of distraction, didn't really do much at first. Next thing you know, Kross was able to get the upper hand, and then Drew McIntyre then was about to win the match, I believe, and then get sprayed with some more of this liquid. I want to say was mace or whatever the case it may be. And he was still able to kick Kross. From there, it looked like he was about to climb. Well, he was starting to climb to the top because it was escape. And next thing you know, it was a race. So you have one end of the door. Oh, I missed this part. Sorry. The side door was open with a key that was unlocked with Scarlett. It looked kind of botchy. The key was then it was untied or unlocked, I would say. The cage was open, and then McIntyre was about to get out there, and the next thing you know, Scarlett closes it, locks it, pulls the key out, and is holding the key. As she's holding the key, he's going up to the top now. Well, they started to make this like it's a race, and it was like a smidget. Somebody beat whoever out of the cage first. So you got McIntyre climbing over the top, Kross going out of the side, which is the heel thing to do, they say. It looked botchy. She was fumbling with the key because she had it playing with it too long. She then finally unlocks it. Well, she did it pretty fast after that still, but it just, how she was holding the key, it looked like she could have like had the key still in the padlock. And Drew McIntyre wins going over the top when Karrion Kross was like on the steps barely. Good match, decent match, I would say. And the ending was kind of weird. They could have done it a little bit better to me. So Drew McIntyre beats Karrion Kross a la over the top of the cage. The OC versus Judgment Day. This was a pretty good match. All the people involved did well. Rhea Ripley, damn. She looked great with her new hair, a la Beth Phoenix that she was doing. There's a lot of homages going on today that I see. And the OC loses to Judgment Day via Rhea Ripley getting involved when AJ Styles was going to hit a phenomenal forearm to, I forgot who on Judgment Day. It could have been Damian Priest, I think. I don't know. Let me know who I forgot if y'all want to. And yeah, that's pretty much it. 1, 2, 3. And Judgment Day reigns supreme over the OC, Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, and AJ Styles. On to Braun Strowman versus Omos. Now, this was pretty, I'm not going to lie, this was interesting. This was something that I thought was going to be either a train wreck or something that was just, good for 5 minutes. It actually was more on the good for 5 minutes. Braun Strowman looks good now. Omos actually looked decent in this match. He was talking a lot of shit to Braun Strowman the whole time, like, get your ass up. It was just funny, calling him a punk ass. Showing a little bit of charisma for a change. I'm not the biggest Omos fan. I don't like him on my TV, but hey, you got Braun Strowman now, what you need him for, but when he's taking L's like this, I don't know where you go after that. So Braun Strowman beats Omos via more like a running power slam. I forgot what he calls it. Couldn't quite get the power bomb, it looks like, for Omos to do a power bomb. So that tells you a lot right there. Braun Strowman wins. We're going to the Usos versus the Brawling Brutes for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. And, well, this was a pretty damn good match. The Brawling Brutes are on a roll right now with Sheamus, that's out for a wedding. So congratulations to him. But they won via a super kick to Pete Dunne, a.k.a. Butch, from the top rope in a 1D. 1, 2, 3. The Usos retain the undisputed Tag Team Championships. Now we're at Bianca Belair versus Bayley. Both of my girls. They tore the house down. This was the second best match on the card. I liked a lot what I saw. They started out the match brawling up the ramp, going around the ring, got into the ring, did some spots, grabbed some weapons. They made their way back up the ramp, the entrance ramp, and Bayley had a box, put her in the box. She got out of it. Bianca's hair even got caught in the box because she has the long hair. If you don't know who Bianca Belair is, look at that. Then when she got out the box, there was actually a forklift, and the forklift was a little botchy because next thing you know, it was not going as fast, and Bianca Belair had to do the Ole Do-si-do. And then they made their way on top of the forklift, started to brawl on top of the forklift. After brawling, they made their way back into the ring once a ladder was introduced to be put into the ring. Bianca Belair did some moves and trapped Bayley in between the ladder, putting the ladder legs in like under the ropes where the turnbuckle is, so she could not lift up the ladder. Therefore, down for the 10 count. Once about it was the 9 count, she was halfway out and couldn't get there. No. Bianca Belair retains the WWE Raw Women's Championship. All right, now, Bray Wyatt had a promo. My man got paid just to speak. Bray Wyatt's dope. I like the return. They're handling it well. Basically, he just went out there and he just talked about he's still being him. A great promo that he did. And he had the crowd in the palm of his hands. And it's just great to see Bray Wyatt back and him in this different character. And he's talking, and then he gets interrupted again by Uncle Howdy, and Uncle Howdy's telling him, "Keep the mask on, man." And Bray before was talking about how invincible he was when he had the mask. Remember the Fiend? Remember that the most infamous Hell in a Cell match between him and Seth Rollins? He couldn't feel pain, right? Well, he talked about that. He's like, hey, I don't feel pain when I put on the mask. I figured out things don't hurt me, and I wasn't scared anymore. And then Uncle Howdy pops up on the screen with his creepy mask, and he's like, hey, you need to not take off that mask so you can never have fear and never have your pain. And then it fades to black with Bray Wyatt looking back at the screen and walking out of the ring. It's really good stuff. Bray Wyatt, I love what they're doing. The guy that's doing the masks supposedly does horror stuff, so really good stuff. I like to see where it's going from there. Now, Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. And I'm gonna go ahead and say this. This was a damn good match. This was match of the night to me, right outside of, I saw most of the Usos and Brawling Brutes. That was pretty good. And the Alexa Bliss and Asuka versus Damage CTRL was good. Bianca Belair and Bayley was the second best match, I was going to say. Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul over-delivered. I figured he would kick some butt. This was a good match. Logan Paul at one point had basically his phone filming him doing a frog splash from outside of the ring onto an announce table on top of Roman Reigns. They had the one lucky punch spot. Then a lot of chaos broke out. They were outside of the ring for more than 10 seconds, but hey, we didn't care. We were having a good time. I counted to like 58 seconds. No, I'm playing, but still, I didn't count. But I figured, yeah, they were out there way longer than that. It's like the ref was like, oh, well, just go ahead and let them rock. Anyway, so the Usos come out, and then they start attacking Logan Paul's podcast boys. And one of them took a super kick to the chest. He was like, I'm good. Oh, my chin. Then another guy, he actually got rocked. The little, the shorter guy, he got rocked with a super kick. I want to say by Jimmy Uso or Jay. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know which one it is. Anyway, they get rocked. So they're outside the ring. They're cleared out. Usos are sitting there, and they're just like, what? Let's go. Let's go. Then you got Roman and Logan that's just outside of the ring on top of the announce tables. Next thing you know, Jake Paul comes out. Oh, Jake Paul, right? And this was really interesting. He comes out, and the reaction was like, hey. You know, he actually had a mixed reaction there. He goes in there, and the next thing you know, he knocks out Jey Uso with that one looked like it really connected. He knocked, I think he hit him. And then he hits Jimmy Uso, knocks both of them down. Now they're both like, what's up? And then the other, my guy, Solo Sikoa comes out. Solo Sikoa, he comes out. Him and Jake are having a stare down, right? So next thing you know, they break that up. Everybody comes in like, nah, because they're going to protect Solo. Solo's not going to get knocked out. If you don't know who Solo Sikoa is, he is the younger brother of the Usos and cousin to Roman Reigns. And next thing you know, they're outside the ring. Logan Paul jumps out when they're about to go at Jake Paul again because the Usos are out there. Logan goes out, does his dive, hits both of them, knocks them out. Now Jake's like, hey, get back in there, do your thing. When he goes back in there, Superman punch from Roman Reigns. Now he's back in the ring. And the next thing you know, spear to Logan Paul. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns is still your undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Hey, man, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Look, this was a pretty good pay-per-view for the first Triple H era Saudi Arabia Crown Jewel show. So this was probably one of the better ones that I've seen. It was still kind of all over the place. The builds can't be the best because the prince is basically telling you these are the people that I would like to see, and you're negotiating all these things because these guys get $50 million every year for these pay-per-views from Saudi Arabia. Hey guys, I'm out. I would give this a B. I give this a C plus. A C plus. And like I said, the build was all over the place. You couldn't get into the stories as much. There was a lot of good wrestling, but overall a C plus. So 7 out of 10, I would say. So 7.5 out of 10. Let's give it that. Hey, I thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know if you guys like to see more wrestling content, me to talk about it. I got into it again, and it's an interesting time right now. Leave a like. Go ahead and hit subscribe if you haven't. And I'm tuning out.